Breaking news coming out of Pittsburgh as the Steelers have made a major move to lock down their backfield for the future. Running back Jaylen Warren has officially agreed to terms on a 2-year contract extension, keeping him in black and gold through the 2027 season. That means at least 3 more years of seeing him alongside rookie Caleb Johnson as the duo that the franchise is betting on to carry the ground game. For fans, it is not just about a name being signed on a dotted line. It is about the direction of the entire offense and what kind of identity this group is going to have under Arthur Smith moving forward. When you look at this deal, it tells you the Steelers have complete trust in Warren's ability to not only carry the ball, but also carry a bigger role than he has ever had before. For most of his career in Pittsburgh, he has been that spark plug off the bench, the guy who comes in and delivers explosive plays when the defense least expects it. But now the organization is making it clear. He is the feature back. He is the guy they want to lean on when the game is tight and the offense needs to move the chains. The money reflects that trust. Reports say Warren is set to make over $7 million in the first year of this extension, with $12 million guaranteed over the 2 seasons. For a running back in today's NFL, that is a respectable deal, especially for a player who entered the league as an undrafted free agent just a few short years ago out of Oklahoma State. What makes this even more impressive is the level of efficiency Warren has shown since the day he stepped onto the field. He has consistently ranked among the top 10 backs in the league in key metrics like explosive run rate, yards after contact, and success rate. This is not just some rotational back who gives you a few flashes here and there. This is a player who, every time he touches the football, produces at a level that rivals the best in the league. Think about that for a moment. Since entering the NFL, he has been second in explosive run rate, 6th in yards per carry, and near the top in multiple efficiency categories. And he did all that while splitting time and not even being the official starter. If that is the production you get in a limited role, just imagine what he can do now that the team is ready to give him the ball as a true number 1 back. Another layer to this move is the scheme fit. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator, is known for his love of wide zone concepts and run schemes that reward backs with vision, quickness, and balance. That is basically a perfect description of Jaylen Warren. He thrives in space, reads blocks exceptionally well, and has that rare ability to stay on his feet even when defenders are draped all over him. He is not the tallest or biggest guy, but his lower body strength is off the charts. His contact balance makes it incredibly difficult for defenders to bring him down on first contact. That is why so many within the organization believe he can absolutely handle being the lead back. There has always been this narrative in the NFL that you need a 6'2", 230-pound bruiser to be the main guy. But time and again, players like Austin Ekeler or even rookies like Bucky Irving have shown that size is not the only factor in becoming a number 1 running back. It is about skill set, durability, and impact. Warren checks all of those boxes. He can run inside, he can bounce outside, he can catch passes out of the backfield, and he can protect the quarterback when asked to block. That is the full package. And now, with the Steelers investing in him, it is clear that they see him as the centerpiece of their rushing attack, not just a complementary piece. Of course, Caleb Johnson enters this conversation as well. The rookie out of Iowa is seen as the future early down back, a player with more size and a profile that reminds some people of Najee Harris. But Johnson is just beginning his career, and expectations are that he will be eased into action. In fact, early in the season, you should fully expect Warren to be the primary back on first and second down, with Kenneth Gainwell rotating in on some third down plays. Johnson will get some snaps here and there, but it will not be until later in the year that his workload starts to grow. The idea is that when the postseason comes around, the Steelers will ideally have a 1-2 punch where Johnson pounds defenses early and Warren comes in to deliver the dagger plays, especially in high-leverage situations. That is why this extension is so significant. It locks in a back who has proven himself and gives the Steelers flexibility as Johnson develops. If Warren goes out and has another season where he is one of the most efficient runners in the league, the team has already secured him at what could look like a bargain price compared to what he might demand as a top 10 back. That is smart front office work. Rather than waiting for Warren to explode statistically and then having to pay him superstar money, they got ahead of the curve. Another reason this is such a big deal is the state of the Steelers' offense as a whole. Everyone knows Arthur Smith's system relies heavily on a strong run game. Without it, the entire structure falls apart. That was painfully obvious last season when the running attack struggled to gain consistency. Drives stalled, play action lost its bite, and the passing game suffered. By committing to Warren and pairing him with a promising rookie, Pittsburgh is signaling that the foundation of this offense will be the ground game. And with improvements expected along the offensive line, there's genuine optimism that this unit could finally click. You think back to last year and how often Warren was the spark that kept the offense alive. 3rd and long, give him a screen, and he would make a couple of defenders miss and move the chains. Red zone drive looking sluggish, hand him the ball, and he would slip through a crease for a first down. He was not just efficient, he was reliable in high-pressure moments. That is invaluable. Now he steps into the year without the cloud of a one-year contract hanging over him. He knows he has security, and that can free a player to focus entirely on performance. For years, the conversation in Pittsburgh revolved around Najee Harris, the bruising back who brought power but lacked explosive efficiency. While Harris could wear down defenses, he often struggled to create the big plays that shift momentum. Warren, on the other hand, brings that burst the Steelers have been missing. Every carry feels like it could turn into something special, and that is exactly the kind of energy this offense needs. It is also worth remembering that Warren is not just a runner. He is one of the better pass catchers out of the backfield in the league today. He turns checkdowns into big gains. He executes screens with precision, and he can line up in different spots to create mismatches. Add in his ability to pass protect, and you have a player who never has to leave the field. That kind of versatility makes life easier for the offensive coordinator and for whoever is under center. So when you put this all together, what do you have? You have a player who has already proven he belongs among the most efficient backs in football, a scheme that perfectly suits his strengths, and a front office that had the foresight to secure him before his price tag skyrocketed. Arthur Smith has always been a coach who believes in the run game as the heartbeat of an offense. You look back at his time in Tennessee when Derrick Henry was the focal point, or in Atlanta where he tried to replicate that with a combination of Cordarrelle Patterson, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier. His system works when the run game is efficient. It feeds everything else. It allows for heavy play, action, it sets up explosive shots down the field, and it keeps defenses honest. Without the run game, Smith's entire offense sputters. That's exactly what happened to the Steelers last year when the line struggled and Najee Harris could not deliver the efficiency that the scheme demanded. By investing in Jaylen Warren, the Steelers are saying they are not going to let that happen again. They want someone who can create yards on his own, someone who does not need perfect blocking on every snap, and someone who can give them explosive gains to keep drives alive. But it goes even deeper than that. Bringing Warren back on a 2-year extension sets the stage for how the Steelers are going to handle Caleb Johnson, the rookie whom many see as the long-term complement. Johnson brings a different skill set, more of the bruising between the tackle style that wears down defenses over the course of a game. At Iowa, he was known for his patience, his ability to grind out tough yards, and the durability that comes with his bigger frame. For Pittsburgh, that balance is essential. You don't want to throw Johnson into the fire immediately and expect him to handle 20 carries a game. You want him learning, adapting, and slowly building confidence in the NFL. Warren's presence allows that exact path. Early in the year, Johnson can rotate in sparingly, learning the nuances of pass protection and situational football, while Warren takes the lion's share of touches. Later in the season, as the rookie adjusts, the Steelers can roll out that 1-2 punch they've envisioned, with Johnson punishing defenses early and Warren delivering the knockout blows when opponents are worn down. This dynamic also changes how defenses will have to prepare for Pittsburgh. In past years, when Najee Harris was the focal point, teams could stack the box, force him into short gains, and trust that he would not break off many explosive runs. Now, with Warren as the main back, defenses have to respect the fact that he can turn any carry into a 20-yard gain. That threat alone spreads defenses out, opens up passing lanes, and makes life easier for the quarterback. Add to that the eventual development of Johnson, who can keep defenses honest with power runs, and you suddenly have a backfield that forces opponents to cover both speed and strength. It's a balancing act that every successful running team needs, and the Steelers are setting themselves up to have it for years to come. Then you consider Kenneth Gainwell. While he is not going to dominate headlines, his role cannot be ignored. Gainwell is that utility back, the guy you can trust on third downs to catch passes, block in protection, and give you a spark when Warren needs a breather. He is not going to be asked to carry the load, but he is the kind of player that makes a running back room complete. His presence allows the coaching staff to mix and match personnel, to keep defenses guessing, and to maintain versatility across situations. When you have Warren as the primary option, Johnson developing into the early down hammer, and Gainwell providing steady third down production, you suddenly have depth that most teams envy. What makes all of this work is the offensive line. Pittsburgh has invested draft picks and coaching attention into building a group that can not only protect the quarterback, but also open lanes in the run game. The early reports out of camp suggest that the line is taking real steps forward. For Warren, that means even more potential for explosive plays. Last year, so many of his big runs came despite mediocre blocking, where he had to create on his own. If the line improves even slightly, you're talking about turning 5-yard gains into 10-yarders and 10-yard runs into home runs. That's where Warren's vision and burst really shine. And for Johnson, a better line gives him the chance to do what he does best: follow blocks, push piles, and grind out those tough early downs. If the offensive line continues to progress, the Steelers' run game could become the engine that powers everything else. The financial side of this also deserves attention. Running back is a tricky position in today's NFL. Teams are hesitant to hand out big second contracts because of the wear and tear the position takes. By getting Warren locked in at what looks like a fair but not overbearing price, the Steelers have positioned themselves smartly. They are paying for proven production without crippling their salary cap. And if Warren's efficiency translates to a bigger workload, this contract could end up looking like one of the best bargains at the position in the entire league. Pair that with Johnson on a rookie deal, and you have a backfield that gives you high-end production at a fraction of the cost of some other teams. That kind of financial flexibility matters when you're building a roster. It allows you to allocate resources to the offensive line, to receivers, to defense, without sacrificing what you're getting out of the run game. And think about the ripple effect on the rest of the offense. When you have a reliable run game, it takes pressure off the quarterback. Drives become more balanced, action becomes more effective, and the offense becomes less predictable. That helps receivers get open, tight ends find mismatches, and the quarterback operate without having to drop back 50 times a game. Last season, when the run game struggled, everything else looked disjointed. Now, with Warren as the lead back and Johnson waiting in the wings, the Steelers are aiming to flip that script. They want to control the tempo, dictate the pace of games, and lean on a running game that forces defenses to adjust. It is also worth noting the psychological impact this has on the team. Players notice when the front office invests in their teammates. When a guy like Warren, who came into the league undrafted and fought his way up the depth chart, gets rewarded with an extension, it sends a message. It tells the locker room that hard work, consistency, and performance will be recognized. That kind of culture matters, especially in a city like Pittsburgh where toughness and grit are part of the franchise identity. Warren embodies that. He is not the flashiest name. He did not come into the league with first-round hype, but he has proven himself every time he touches the football. Giving him a contract extension reinforces the values the Steelers want to stand for. The truth is, if Warren produces the way many expect him to, this extension will look like a steal. If Johnson develops into the back they think he can be, the Steelers will have one of the most complete and cost-effective backfields in football. And if Arthur Smith's system clicks with this group, it could transform the entire offense into something fans have been waiting for: consistent, explosive, and balanced. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The sports world is abuzz with speculation and excitement as the news spreads that Jakobi Meyers has officially become a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rumors have been circulating for weeks, with fans and analysts dissecting every social media post, tweet, and hint from team insiders, all pointing toward a significant acquisition by the Steelers. Meyers, known for his precise route running, sure hands, and consistent production, has generated a level of anticipation among Pittsburgh supporters that borders on frenzy. Sources suggest that behind the scenes, negotiations were intense and highly strategic, as the Steelers sought to bolster their receiving core with a player capable of changing the dynamic of their offense. Conversations with unnamed executives hint that the team views Meyers as a cornerstone for future success, someone who can step into crucial moments without hesitation. Observers are speculating about how Meyers will fit into the team's existing system, wondering whether he will become the primary target in high-pressure situations or be utilized more strategically in schemes designed to maximize his agility and field awareness. Fans have flooded social media with reactions ranging from pure excitement to cautious optimism, all pointing to the profound impact this signing might have on the Steelers' offensive identity moving forward. As the Steelers officially announce Jakobi Meyers' addition, the ripple effect across the league is palpable. Analysts argue that this signing could represent a pivotal shift in how Pittsburgh approaches their offensive strategy, emphasizing versatility and reliable execution in the passing game. Inside sources hint that Meyers' reputation as a disciplined, methodical receiver who rarely drops crucial passes was a decisive factor in the negotiations, with team management envisioning him as a reliable safety net for their quarterbacks during critical drives. Rumors suggest that multiple teams were vying for Meyers' talents, with offers circulating that could have significantly altered the landscape of the free agent market, but Pittsburgh's persistence and strategic appeal ultimately sealed the deal. The locker room buzz is reportedly electric, as current players are already speculating on how Meyers' skill set will complement existing formations and plays. Coaches are believed to be re-evaluating depth charts and passing schemes, trying to envision how Meyers can be integrated without disrupting the rhythm of established stars. Fans, meanwhile, are dissecting highlight reels, comparing past performances, and projecting potential chemistry with Pittsburgh's quarterbacks. The overall sentiment, according to insiders and social chatter, is one of cautious excitement, as supporters eagerly await the first opportunity to witness Meyers in action wearing the iconic black and gold uniform. Whispers around training facilities and local sports bars indicate that Jakobi Meyers' arrival might have broader implications than just his on-field contributions. Sources suggest that his presence could influence play calling, offering offensive coordinators new options to stretch defenses vertically and horizontally in ways that were previously limited. Analysts speculate that Meyers' combination of speed, precision, and football IQ might prompt a rethinking of how the Steelers approach red zone scenarios and third down conversions, potentially increasing efficiency and unpredictability. Rumors circulating from insiders hint at a possible mentorship role as well, with Meyers expected to share knowledge and techniques with younger receivers, fostering growth and elevating the entire receiving unit. Social media chatter reveals fan excitement, mixed with cautious analysis, as supporters debate whether his integration will be seamless or require an adjustment period. There is also speculation that Meyers' signing could influence future draft decisions, with management potentially looking to complement his style with additional offensive weapons. The narrative within the city seems unanimous, however, in recognizing this acquisition as a significant statement by the Steelers' front office, signaling ambition, careful planning, and a commitment to building a more dynamic, reliable offensive presence. Excitement continues to mount as Pittsburgh prepares for training camp, with anticipation surrounding Meyers reaching a fever pitch. Amidst all the speculation and excitement, industry insiders hint at the meticulous behind-the-scenes work that made Jakobi Meyers' move to the Pittsburgh Steelers a reality. Reports suggest that contract negotiations were detailed and delicate, balancing Meyers' personal goals with the strategic needs of the team. Sources describe intense meetings where performance incentives, role expectations, and long-term career prospects were discussed exhaustively, reflecting the high stakes involved in securing a player of Meyers' caliber. Fans have speculated endlessly about the financial and logistical aspects of the deal, with social media buzzing with theories and projections, all attempting to decipher the exact terms and implications. Analysts emphasize that this signing is not merely a short-term fix, but a calculated investment in the future, with Meyers expected to provide stability, leadership, and elite performance for years to come. Behind the scenes, coaching staff are reportedly devising creative schemes to leverage Meyers' versatility, balancing his ability to stretch the field with tactical use in high-pressure situations. Meanwhile, fans eagerly anticipate press conferences and first practice reports, with anticipation building as Pittsburgh's stadium culture prepares to welcome a player whose presence promises to shift momentum, energize the roster, and inspire a city hungry for exciting football. Rumors suggest that team insiders are cautiously optimistic, emphasizing the unique combination of talent, work ethic, and football intelligence that Meyers brings to Pittsburgh roster. Analysts continue to dissect how his skill set will fit within existing schemes, pondering whether he will become the team's go-to target or a versatile weapon capable of shifting matchups and creating opportunities for other offensive stars. Behind closed doors, it is said that coaches are reimagining playbooks, evaluating new formations, and experimenting with strategies to fully capitalize on Meyers' strengths. Fans are eagerly awaiting preseason games, eager to witness chemistry develop between Meyers and the quarterbacks, imagining highlight reels and game-changing plays that could define the team's identity. Meanwhile, industry chatter hints that rival teams are already recalibrating their defensive plans, anticipating how to counter the impact of Pittsburgh's newest weapon. The combination of anticipation, speculation, and excitement has created an atmosphere reminiscent of major free agent shifts in the past, with the Steelers' faithful feeling that their team has made a bold, strategic move. Jakobi Meyers' arrival promises not just talent, but a wave of energy, confidence, and potential that could shape the narrative of the entire season, making Pittsburgh a focal point in sports discussions nationwide. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.